Howdy from Texas. Today in our video we're going to talk about something that may impact you, a homeowner or an investor, and your financial future. If you are a homeowner who is facing financial trouble, maybe making payments on a home, or if you're an investor attempting to help a homeowner who's facing financial payments or trouble making payments on their loan, we're going to be talking about the whole loan and foreclosure process. What are the common steps that occur? What are the options and who should you talk to within your bank? What are federal government programs out there to help you through the process? And what does it look like to work with an investor? And some options that may be out there with an investor that most people don't know about to walk through those processes. So stay tuned. Now, if you can remember back to when you first got your house and you first got your mortgage, you probably spoke with a bank, they issued you the mortgage, and then you got a notice maybe a month or two later that the mortgage was being transferred to another bank, okay? So you go, you get that mortgage, that does say you have Y in debt, and then it's getting transferred to another bank. Now, what's interesting here is that bank that you're actually making payments to, let's just say Wells Fargo or someone like that commonly buys these mortgages, they usually do not own the debt to your mortgage. That's correct. Usually what happens is that debt is sold to a large organization like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and they actually own your mortgage, and they pay Wells Fargo a monthly fee to basically manage the payments of that debt, to receive those payments and pay them back, and then go through the foreclosure process should there be missed payments or other issues like that. So this is the servicing company to your mortgage, and they are the ones that you're often going to be contacting and talking to work through options if you're having trouble making some payments. And there are several options that you can go through that may involve you bypassing that foreclosure, may involve you not selling to a foreclosure or selling to an investor or anyone else like that, keeping your home if that's something you're wanting to go through. So if you are in that situation, there is a government organization called HUD, and you can call their HOPE number, which will be on this video screen here and in the comments below as well. They are great at helping you walk through options, and HUD is actually an organization to help with homeownership. And HUD does is they insure the bank loan to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So if you were not able to make payments, essentially they would buy that loan, and most likely they would be involved in the end process of a foreclosure transaction if you got all the way to that point. And so HUD is a great resource for you as a homeowner to contact a government agency that can walk you through options. They can prepare you for your conversation with your bank, help you get your documents in order, and walk through that process as well. So when should you reach out to your mortgage servicer? That's the question. We're going to walk through a few steps that they have to go through. Here we go. First of all, within the first 30 days, if you miss the payment 30 days later, they're going to typically send you a letter saying, hey, you're late on payments. And often it's times is before that, but they have to by 30 days. By 36 days, so this is 30, you get that written notice, hey, you're late on your payments, right? 36 days, they need to make live contact with you. So they're going to be trying to phone call you or reach you somehow with live contact. By 45 days, you're going to have one person specifically assigned to your loan case that will be reaching out to you by name, and you can contact them directly to help you work through options. Last of all, within 121 days, they have the option at least to begin the paperwork and lawyer work for filing for foreclosure. That process can take different times depending on different banks, what state you're in, laws, etc. So That's the high level process of where things get started. But let's now talk about options that you can discuss with your bank, as the bank will have different options to help you if you're having trouble making financial payments. So first step, the mortgage servicer is typically going to ask you for a few things. They're going to want to see that you have pay stubs that either stopped or significantly reduced. They're going to want to see a letter explaining why you're requesting financial hardship or essentially help. And last of all, they're going to typically want to do a credit check as well, just to understand where you are at and what their options are to help you with. Once those are all submitted, they'll review it and come back to talk with you. The first option is a reinstatement plan, and this option is really pretty simple. It's, hey, I missed a payment, I missed 2 payments, and now I have the money. Maybe I was waiting to get paid for a job from a contractor or whatever that they just didn't pay in time, and that's why I missed it. It's really just catching up on the late debt, and boom, you're good to go. The second option is forbearance. And forbearance, we saw this during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we had a natural disaster that basically occurred and it affected 20% of the workforce, 25% of the workforce. They were just without work. There was no way to make payments. And the banks gave a forbearance on the debt, meaning the debt is still owed. The debt still maybe accrues, but they don't have to make the payments right now. We're going to delay the time that you have to make those payments. So a lot of families were given ways to get creative, save up the money, and make those payments later according to a plan at that time. That's typically happens when you see natural disasters occur. Maybe it's a flood, maybe it's other situations that occur. That's an option a bank may pursue. Another option a loan servicer may come up with you is a repayment plan, where you say, hey, I owe this much, it's late, etc. And we're going to break it down by X amount and get caught up by X date. And here's the plan that we're going to follow. And again, these are things that they're going to look at on a case-by-case basis with you, depending on your income and a number of other variables. One option that may be something that you could look at and evaluate is a loan modification. This is another option a service provider may look at with you. Oftentimes, if you're facing a situation, let's say divorce, where maybe now you lost a significant portion of income towards your mortgage payment, but you've owned a house for a significant amount of time, they may be able to modify the terms of your loan, let's say extend the number of years that you're making payments to reduce the amount, etc. They'll typically work with you on a plan to modify that loan, and again, this isn't for everyone, right? But they may offer this as an option. And then they give you those terms for that loan, and you can then afford the payments and maybe get caught up on where you need to be. So that could be one option as well. So all of those options with your mortgage service provider include you keeping the house and finding a way to make the payments. You don't really escape the payments necessarily by talking to the mortgage service provider. You're going to pay the debt. It's just a matter of when and how, right? These two options now are where you would sell the house. So the first is a short sale. And a short sale essentially is where you are contacting your bank and you're saying, hey, I am upside down on this mortgage, meaning that I actually owe more than what the market thinks it's worth. Therefore, I have to sell at a loss. You're not going to make any money in this situation, but maybe you can avoid the hard hit on your credit and lockout for a foreclosure, which is typically 7+ years, right? So by doing a short sale, you control the terms and the timing of the sale because you're the one listing this. Your bank does need to approve this, and the process with the bank is quite lengthy. There's a lot of paperwork for you. There's a lot of paperwork for the buyer. There's a limited number of buyers that are willing to wait through a short sale process. And so that is one option for you as well. Another option is a deed in lieu of foreclosure. In this case, you're saying, hey, bank, I have a house. I actually have a little bit of credit or equity in my home, and I'm going to give you the deed of my house and escape foreclosure. Now, this is an option, but usually if you have equity, you should try to tap into that equity and see if you can sell it to somebody directly, whether it be an investor or on the market, and get a little bit of that money in your pocket as well. But that isn't an option that the service provider may discuss with you at that time, and that's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Okay, so we have covered a lot of the core options that most service providers will talk to you about when you're on the phone with them. Again, you can call HUD, who can walk you through these steps too. They're going to probably tell you a lot of the same information. In fact, a lot of the same information is on their website. Let's talk about now options for an investor. And just because you sell to an investor does not mean that you have to move out of your house. That's not always the case. We've done options before that allow the seller to live in their house. However, of course, investors do buy homes, and if you wanted to move to some place and maybe have a little equity pulled out for yourself, there is that option as well. So J&A Homebuyers, which is who I work with, is an investor in the local Houston and Katy, Texas area. We're actually based in Katy, Texas, but we buy all around Katy, Texas, so way out west and way out east of Houston as well. And we work with homeowners in a number of different ways. One, we can just buy the house outright. Oftentimes it's a cash purchase and we buy as is, allowing you to just sell and move out, walk away. You probably walk away with some equity in your pocket as well. If you've owned the house for a number of years, you're most likely going to have a decent amount that you walk away with as well. So it's a very easy transaction, very simple. It could be done in as short as 2 weeks or according to your timing. That being said, it doesn't work for everyone. Sometimes you don't have a place to move to, or you don't have a plan B of where you want to go, but you need to sell in order to avoid foreclosure. So this is a scenario we've done as well, where we purchase the house and then we have a lease contract where you're renting that house and you stay in the house right there. So there are ways to work with home investors where you stay in the house. And if you're looking to maybe purchase the house down the road, those are some things we could talk about. We can outline those in detail when we're sitting together and looking through your house. So where is J&A Homebuyers uniquely qualified to help you? Number one, many of our investors in our team are licensed realtors. I'm a licensed realtor with eXp Realty, and we are going to be very transparent with you. Secondly, if buying the house directly from you is not the best avenue for you to make top dollar, we're going to tell you, and we're going to help you list that house on the market. If you'd like our help, we can give you an unbiased opinion. So contact us. Number two, we are uniquely structured. Our attorneys and our title companies have told us that we have very creative ways to work things. All of the things that we're doing are on the TREC, or the Texas contracts that Texas provides, that are 100% legal and upright. But a lot of people just don't know about the different options to finance the house, to purchase the house, to help you get top dollar on your home. So we have helped a lot of homeowners in that process as well. Let us help you in securing your path to your financial future and get you moving on out of the problem that you're facing today. If you're a local investor, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and connect as well and see how we can help you in your business today.